So in this video I want to talk about item value and what items are worth in the game. So this is extremely subjective. Items don't have a set value. Items, I would say, have value ranges, and there are things that can change what an item is theoretically worth. Generally, interest, demand, or bid wars can change an item's value. So for example, an extremely rare Q8 or Q9 that goes to bid war, let's say like 5 to 10 people are interested in it on Guild Wars Legacy or even in Commodon, that will generally spike up the value of something. So if people have to compete over an item, that will increase its value. But I have an interesting item here that a dude just was trying to get rid of. That'll probably be hard to sell, but I'm going to see if I can flip it just for the hell of it. So tormented energy storage focus. So what is a tormented weapon worth? This is something that I've thought about for a little bit because I have like quite a few tormented weapons, and they're always cheaper than an arm brace. Always. The reason for this is an arm brace can be converted into any tormented weapon, but a tormented weapon can't be converted back into an arm brace. So the arm brace not only can be converted, but it's also a commodity. So a commodity is just like something that's worth something. So like gold, for example. So like if I had like a bunch of bars of solid gold, people would value those at a certain exchange rate, right? Kind of like how ectos work, arm braces work the same way. However, this tormented energy storage focus, I would be lucky if I could sell it for 30 ectos, even though an arm brace right now is like 65 to 70. The reason for this is most people would not run an energy storage focus. Usually when you run a 2020 set, which is the most common mod configuration for a focus, they want like fire magic, air magic, in some cases earth or water. Those are quite rare, but it's usually fire or air. So if you wanted to sell any kind of tormented focus, you would want fire or air, basically, or Dom. Dom would probably be the most valuable. Dom, Prot, things like this. So this, even though like costs an arm brace to get out of a trader, is not even worth half an arm brace. I'd be lucky to sell it for 30 ectos. I'll probably end up selling it for 20 to 25 ectos, depending on interest, but this is going to be hard to sell. So this is different from most OS items because most OS items have like pricing guidelines based on rarity of the item and demand for the item. So everything has to do with supply and demand, as you'd expect in basic economics, but there are some like caveats to that. There's like some things, like some asterisks, I guess we could say. So like these two Plagueborn swords, both are Q9. We have a +5 energy Plagueborn sword, and we have a 15 over 50. The +5 is worth way more. Same thing with Oni blades. +5, the caster one's worth way more. A 15 over 50 Q9 Oni blade, on average, will get you 15 to like 50 ectos, depending on how long you want to sell it for. I usually sell them for like 30 to 50. Somewhere in that range, depending on interest. The +5 Oni blade I got was like almost 300 ectos. I sold it for 275 ectos and it went to bid war. A few people bid on it, like 3 or 4 people bid on it. So same thing is true with these Plagueborn swords. They're not worth as much as Oni blades in general. I would say a Q9 +5 Plagueborn sword probably runs 1 to 2 arm braces, maybe 3 if you find someone who really badly wants it and like there isn't one for sale. These things fluctuate. If there's a few people selling them at any given time, that'll always tank the value of any item. These items are closer to like a tormented in terms of how they're created, where you chest run and chest run and chest run until the chest spits one of these out. There aren't like unique or like there's not like a different unique variant of this. It's just like Q9 +5 energy, that's it. The rest of the mods are interchangeable. Now this completely changes when we get to shields, OS shields and foci. So let's pull like some other items just for like an example. I don't think I have any shields on this account. This is one of my accounts. I actually have way more money than just this amount of ectos. I have like a bunch of arm braces on my main account. I have some tormented weapons on here, but like this scepter. This isn't a killer scepter. It's not by any means like a bank scepter worth like arm braces, but you can see right here, halves casting time 10%, energy +5 while enchanted. So scepters are extremely variable. Same thing with shields. That's why people pay so much for good shields. Good shields generally are worth a lot of money because they're truly rare and they almost never drop. Like +5 energy and 15 over 50 can be quite common. Not so common that you can just get like one right away. Like you have to invest some time, maybe like 1,000 lockpicks to consistently get at least one Q9 +5 energy. Like I would say like 500 to 1,000 lockpicks to get one. Assuming that the chest spits out those swords commonly, which that's not the case for a lot of skins, like especially Gothic sword, for example. But aside from that, you have like different types of items, right? So we have we'll kind of like separate them in these categories. You have your items that are converted from something, from an arm brace. The arm brace price is generally just increasing over time, but this item price will probably be like 10 to like 30 ectos below the arm brace price, because the arm brace is a commodity used. It's used as like a higher tier form of currency. The way the currency works is arm braces are at the top in terms of value. They're worth the most. Then you have ectos. Arm braces are worth like 60 to 70 ectos, roughly speaking. Ectos are worth like roughly 10k, like 10 to 11k. And then you have like platinum, which you can only trade 100 at a time. So usually things are traded in ectos, sometimes in arm braces if they're extremely rare. So the tormented weapons in particular are actually tethered to a commodity slash like high tier form of currency, which is kind of interesting because even though this tormented focus was created from an arm brace, it's not even half the value of an arm brace, and it'll literally take me probably like days of AFKing to, like in Commodon to sell this. So I bought it for 15 ectos. I'll probably sell it for at least 20 for 5 ectos profit. But sitting AFK and like spamming a message is wasting time that you could have used to farm or chest run or speed clear. So you have to keep that in mind when you're trying to flip things. Time spent flipping is also time you're not spent creating an item to sell that could be worth a lot of money. But a lot of items are slow to sell. But aside from that, that's one like form of item, right? So this is like the value of this item depends on demand. For example, let's bring in some other tormented weapons. I should easily be able to sell this tormented sword for 50 to 55 ectos. People want this. This is a nice skin. People can use this as a caster. Warriors can use this. This is worth way more than this. The reason is because it looks better and it's run more often. Energy storage as a focus is quite terrible. Then the staff. These are generally worth 30 to 45 ectos, sometimes hitting 50, but usually 45 is where they cap out. I got this for 40 ectos. So you can see here, I bought this for 50, I bought this for 40, I bought this for 15. The dude was so burnt out overselling this, he's like, just take it for 50. For 50, he didn't even care. He's like, 15, whatever. Like this is actually, I'm not sure if it's a deal or not, but it seems like one. But you can kind of see the price difference just based on utility. So it's the same is true for OS items, but it's in a different way, right? So more people use caster swords and more classes use caster swords than use an actual sword for combat. So this is why caster swords are worth more than this. So you can kind of see in the hierarchy of value, and then I'll add this in here just for even more disparity. This is used more, therefore it has more value. This is used by 100 Blades builds. That's it. Maybe Dragon Slash build with Save Yourselves, but 100 Blades builds primarily warriors. The people buying this are actually warriors using 100 Blades for the most part. And then that's a Q9. And then the same thing, 15 over 50 Q10 is worth way less. Q9 of Plagueborn can be worth 10 to, I want to say 40 ectos, depending on interest, depending on how long you want to sell it, or if someone's like actively buying it. And then the Q10, I would say, is like roughly half of that. So the difference between a Q9 and a Q10 of the exact same stats, functionally, these items are exactly the same if they have the same like mods, like Sundering mod, for example. You liked hearing about good drops? We got 2021. Oh, that's interesting. What skin? If this is a multi-class skin, this is an insane. Oh my god. Let's see if we can show me this. Dude, did he get on a tribute? Holy shit. This is that if you cool. Let's see what he got. Got a 2020. There he is. Or she. Let's see. What did you get? Plagueborn 2020. Let's see what they got. So, all right, if you get a 2020 on attribute scepter for a multi-class thing like Plagueborn. Okay. Death, Illusion, Earth. Yeah, this is different professions, right? Earth is Ellie, Illusion, Mesmer, Death. Yeah. Hold on, let me get them a person to PM. Shit. What's his name? Hold on. Shit. I don't know his name is. Oh, what the fuck? Someone would pay 100. All right, so this is a perfect example, right? I would not pay 100D for this because it's all mismatched, right? All right. So this is some collectors are weird. Some people buy triple profession things. Some things you might not think are worth money are worth money. They got an offer of 100E on this. I actually would have said it's merch food personally because it's like it's not usable. Yeah. Got 100E. But I mean, it's a nice scepter. Like, it's not bad. But if it was like both Mesmer, like if it was both Illusion, that would be worth a lot. That'd probably go for arm braces, even if like regardless of requirement. But this is truly even just to get 220% is quite rare on wands and scepters. So some things are worth more than you think they are, and you'll be surprised regularly. Like I had a shield I thought was worth like 20 ectos, and it sold for 15 arm braces. So sometimes your pricing can be off. Just put it on Legacy, see if anyone has interest. Try selling it in Commandant. But the main key for like pricing is that there are no like hard-coded rules like that you can follow 100%. Like if you would have asked me, what do you think this is worth? I'd probably say 5 to 10E hard sale. But if you find a collector who's obsessed with things like this, you might be surprised. Let me see. How many chests have you run so far? Still though, 100. All right, so let's see how many chests they've opened. So this is like data, right? We're collecting data. We're seeing how many chests they opened before they got a good drop. On average, I've found that if you open, oh, that's nice. 500. No shields or max marshals. That should be like a few ectos, like 10 to 20-ish. Yeah, I think that's about right. Because Dom everyone loves Dom. That's nice. If it's Q9, it's definitely worth, bumps it up too. Let's see what he says. Oh. Yeah, let's see what else they show. They probably have a bunch of stuff in their bank they're not sure about. Like sometimes you don't know you have a good thing, like a good like weapon combination or some good mods on something. Sometimes like a Plagueborn shield seems like it's not worth much and it's worth a ton. So that's true of most shields. But value is very subjective in a lot of old school stuff specifically. That's why I wanted to make this video. So even though it seems like there's like hard and fast rules, there are for some items for sure, right? Like lower rec is usually worth more. Caster is usually worth more than 15 over 50. Dual Zeal, which is 15% minus 1 energy regen, and Dual Vamp, which is 15% minus 1 health regen, are always worth a lot, especially on a good skin, especially on a Q9, because those are rare mods that you almost never get. So if you get a Q9 with those, oh, here we go. That's a decent shield. It's not the best, but it's worth something. That's plus 10 versus Hext. That could be better. Oh, that's not bad. I think that's everything I haven't showed you before. Wait, who? Do I know this person? No. I haven't shown me before. 20% while Hexed. Oh, okay. If you sell elite tomes for 1E each while chest running hard mode, you generally um, okay. Okay, so all right, so let's go through these items really quick. Okay, you took them down. Most of those weren't worth anything because like plus 10 armor while hexed, for example, is just a terrible bond. You want like halves casting time. You want like 10% or halves like recharge of spells, plus 5 energy. Stuff that's actually usable. The more usable a wand is, the more it's worth. If you get a 20/20 on a tribute wand, like with a good skin, it's not only incredibly rare, but it's worth it's like worth like hundreds of arm braces because it's truly extreme. Oh, here we go. Whoa, that's actually good. That's actually worth not a lot, but it's worth something. This one's not bad. Oh no, but it's below. That's below. Healing prayers 19. Some of these are okay. What's the axe? Okay. Versus dragons. Yeah, I'm just stacking them up. Nice. Okay. 50. That's good. What 120E is what? That's pretty good. So after he sells the one thing for 100E, and he's already up 120, not including tome sales. How much profit is that? All right, so 50. All right, so 120E is 1.1 mil or 1.2 mil. So he's 600K profit from that roughly. Oh yeah. He's all right. So out of 500 picks, so this is a real life example of a random person who chest ran Plagueborn and has already made bank. All right, here, let's check out their stabs. That'll sell for like 10 to 20E easy. That's pretty. I actually might buy that. It's actually not bad. Should all buy that for like 20E if they'll take it for it. 2010 fire is not bad. People buy those sometimes. I'll help them be more profitable. I'll buy that shit. So that's 20 down for 20. I think that's a fair offer. Okay. All right, so okay. 0. Oops. Okay. Yeah, so they've clearly made profit. Like even just selling this to me for 20E, on top of their 120, they're pretty like you can easily profit chest running, as I've like outlined in previous videos. But I kind of wanted to break down like the pricing of certain items. Like obviously a Q10 is going to be less than a Q9 15/50. However, both Q9s, both with max mods that are desirable, the +5 is worth way more. It's usually worth like 2 to 5 times as much on average. I probably could sell this for 2 arm braces if I was really patient. We'll see what it sells for. We'll see how patient I truly am. But aside from that, I wanted to kind of go over like value and like the difference between all these tormented weapons. Like the price range of a tormented sword is generally like 45 to 55E. A fire staff is generally like 35 to 45, and this energy storage is probably like, I don't know, like 15 to 30. So like even though they're all converted from an arm brace, the practicality and the percent of people that actually want to use these weapons and items drastically determines its value and also the desire. So cool skin plus rare, cool skin and it's rare puts it in demand, generally speaking, so people want it. Plagueborn sword I think actually does look kind of cool. You probably want to like have some kind of red theme with your armor because it doesn't die. Like it doesn't die like the flesh. It kind of just dies the handle. So you want to probably have like necro armor or something, but it looks like decent. Kind of see there, it has like some kind of like wear and tear on it. Like it's kind of like a messed up sword, but it's not as clean and sexy as the Oni blade, but it still looks pretty good. But Oni blades are also harder to chest run. I tried showing a dude a route today, a chest run route, Reisu Palace chest run route, and he was dying constantly, even with the North skills and shit. Like I am unstoppable because the Shiro can have armor or life stealing. So it doesn't matter how much armor you have. When they use a skill area, they still have 20 health in the area range. So you stand next to them, you just get life siphoned to death. And the only way to prevent it is to use like shielding hands or to just have really good positioning. But that's definitely a route that's much harder than Plagueborn. But yeah, this is just a basic video on value. Another thing too is if you want to make more money out of an item, you have to sit on it longer. Period. Or this is the thing I like to do: open up Commandant chat, see if you can find a buyer. If you're lucky, you can find a buyer who's still actively buying. Sell in Commandant and post on Legacy. Search Legacy buying section. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes a dude's buying the item you have. Like right now on my friends list, this is on my factions only account. This is my main account. It has completely different friends. If I get a +5 energy Oni Blade Q9, I can sell it for 250 ectos immediately. I can sell any other Rex for like 80 to 40 ectos. Like if I get a Q10, I can sell it for like 100 E right away to a person I know. I can sell 15 over 50 Onis. Like I have, there are people that are buying these things that you can find, and you can just immediately make a sale. Like if you find them and, you know, wait for them to log in, PM them, be like, hey, I have this, you want to buy it? And if, you know, if they're actively buying it, you have an instant sale. And some things are easier to sell than others. So like extremely rare shields are always easy to sell. People will fight each other over a good shield Q9. So if you get a shield with 2 max mods, Q9, good skin, be very slow to sell it. Same thing with a good scepter. This is not a good scepter. This is like a passable scepter. Someone would buy this because they can't find a 2020 or a 2010 or a 1020 or a 1010 in the attribute they want because they're very rare. And they would just want this like cool skin. So they'll be like, whatever, I'll take this for 10E. So like that's where like things like this come in. So some things, and like this isn't objectively worth 10 ectos, right? Like that's the point of this video. Everything has value ranges. Interest can drastically affect how much something is worth. What was he saying? If you would, don't publish the offer. It's actually sold it just in case he backs off. To be honest, I would take it right away. All right, this is what I think is good advice, because that scepter had like completely different professions. Yes, it's a 2020, but they're not even matching. It's not even the same profession. It's not even like usable. I would sell to them ASAP. All right, this is definitely good advice. A 2020 with mismatched attributes and not even like it's earth magic, and then it was like illusion and then death magic. Like that's not even usable, let alone on the same profession. Like it's literally triple profession. So that's, if you can get 100E for that, good for you. Like awesome, good job. But like if you messaged most people, they'd say that's merch food. Like most people would say that's merch food, but there are some collectors that collect like strange combinations. Like this one right here, this 10 fast casting, the +10 versus plants makes this shitty. If this just had 10%, this would be worth bank. If this had 10% halves recharge of spells and 20% illusion on a fast casting Plagueborn focus, this would be worth probably a few arms, but unfortunately it has this dumbass plant spot. So it's going to be a hard sell for like 5 to 20 ectos. That's my general range for things that are hard to sell if they have like seemingly good mods on them. So here's a perfect example of something too. I had an offer of 25 ectos on this, but the dude's computer crashed and he hasn't been on Guild Wars, and no one will buy this for 2 ectos otherwise. So the difference there, right? The difference there is huge. Right, like I can't even sell it for 2 ectos versus when a buyer actually wanted it, they offered 25 on it. So just this item, like you'd be like, oh, this is worth something. It's like, think again. Maybe it's always like this might be worth something for things like this. For like bows are weird. If you get like this was annoying. I got 1% off of max on this. If this was max, it'd be worth like 50E easy. But unfortunately it's not. The reason is because it's a piercing damage hammer that he's used in PvP, because a handful of people still do that, so good on them. This caster axe, I've had literally zero interest in this. People don't even buy this. Actually, I'm curious. Let me see if I can even sell this. Let's just go to Commandant just for the fuck of it. Let's see if we can sell this. Let's see if anyone's interested in this Plagueborn axe. All right, WTS plus 5E axe Q11 OS. Let's just see if anyone messages me. I doubt it. It takes forever to get a message. Like, it takes forever. Like, especially if it's just like some dumb item or something that's not commonly traded or people don't even know what it is. Like a Q11. If it was Q9, maybe I'd get a PM, but at this. And another thing is, people don't PM you unless it's like cheap or like a deal for the most part, or if they really badly want the skin, but most people do not badly want the skin. So for this, I would say maybe let's try 20 Ectos. I don't think that's what it's worth, but let's just try it. Let's just see. Sometimes putting a value on things kind of puts it into perspective for people. So let's get rid of OS and just put 20E. So it shows up in the thing. I think I have them added on my main. That's why I don't have them. I just don't have them added on this. I probably do know them. Possibly. Alright, so it can take a while to sell things. Like, if you're going to be selling some OS stuff, you can be sitting here for a while. And it's really annoying. So, I guess, but pretty sure I said caveat, right? Yeah, I might have mispronounced that, but we'll look it up later. And then feel bad if I didn't correct it in future videos. Alright, so one thing I like to do is check to see what people are buying. This guy, here's a perfect example of some shit that throws you off. Want to buy clean, naked weapons. He's buying up to Q13. So if you get a weapon, the OS, that doesn't have a mod on it, that is considered clean / naked. Or at least clean. I'm not sure what naked is, but... So he'll buy these probably for a few Ectos each, but still, that'd be merch food otherwise. So little things like that. Like, it's already profitable, but little things like that boost up your profitability. All right, so let's see. All right, let's go down to this message. I'll just add on. Let's just try also selling this. Plus 5E Q9 Plagueborn Sword 2A. So usually you want to lead with your most expensive item, because that's the thing you're trying to sell. That's the thing that if it sells, it's worth the most money. But I'm just going to throw this in here. So I am trying to sell this for 2 arm braces. It is rare. They're not too common. I've chest run like 3K, maybe 4K Plagueborn chests, maybe closer to 3. And I've seen 2 of these, but I've had friends that have chest run 2,000 plus Plagueborn chests and haven't seen one, so I just happened to have gotten 2 of them. But like 1 in 1,500 drop rate is quite low, so unless you want to go run Plagueborn chest run for like 1,000 chests, you're probably better off just buying this. And even then, there's no guarantee you'd get one, especially a Q9. So truly just good RNG on the swords, but I've had terrible RNG on stabs. So everyone's RNG is different. You can't account for anything in this game. All right, so let's just switch the order. So I didn't get a PM. So let's see if I can get a PM on this. Let's just sell just this. So in this case, you can see the whole message, just like that. Another thing I'm doing by doing this is I'm basically saying, I think this weapon is worth this much. Now, you could argue it's not. You could argue it is. But the value is kind of subjective on this. If you have 3 people interested in it and people start bidding on it on Legacy, for example, then it's worth more than what you're selling it for, or it's worth more than you're anticipating to get. Another thing is, like, if there's no interest, if I'm selling this for 2 arm braces, I might have a tendency to like lower it to like 100 Ectos, then 80 Ectos, and then 1 arm brace, and just keep going down until someone PMs me. Actually, let's test this like live on video. I'm gonna switch characters. Let's see what value people will PM me at the 4. Okay, so right now I'm selling it for 2A. So let's switch characters. I'm not actually going to sell it, but I'm just gonna fuck with the market just to see like what comes out. I'm gonna go on my dumb character, Zed Shadow Oof. I'm gonna turn myself into Zed. All right, let's see. So I'm gonna type out the message different. So let's just see. Let's just see if we get an interest. All right, so I was selling it for 2A. We'll say caster Q9 using different language. Sword. Let's just say 50 ectos. Just say 50. 50E. Let's see if we get a PM. This is part of the value thing because like the economy is slow, so this isn't necessarily like foolproof where it's like, oh, I'm just reducing the price to like get some interest. It's very possible that most of these people are AFK, and the amount of active players that would be interested in this, or there's like 10 of. So, but like truly, most of these players are AFK just selling things. So don't expect to like sell a lot of things. These players sometimes you do. So let's see. So by undercutting myself in this like little experiment, I'm seeing if what price. Oh, here we go. We got someone trading me. Okay. Are they gonna try to buy this for 50E right now? I guess I'll PM them. I'll just PM them because they seem to be, unless they just think I'm funny because I'm Zed Shadow Oof, Mighty Gladiator. What's up? Yeah, they're just trolling. Okay. Alright, so let's sell a Q9 caster. What sword? Okay. Yeah, they're just like being silly. I'm curious to see what sword people, or what price people will PM me at. Kind of as like a live demonstration of like how the market in this game kind of works. Alright, so he's not even messaging me for the sword. Like, most people here are here to goof off because they're bored. Unfortunately, the game's population isn't that high. Like, if the population was higher, it would be much easier to sell things. But because the population is what it is, sometimes... like, yeah, that's what they added. Sometimes... Can I have it? It's not for sale. 5A for my name. Can I have it? It's not for sale. Or delete the care too, right? Is this dude serious about buying my name? What would you? Is this super real right now? Is this dude gonna pay me to buy his name? I actually would sell. I would actually delete it too. He'd have to pay me first though. 3A. What the fuck? The market, dude. Let's see if I'll do 5. C5. Is this what this game is right now? Let me think about it. Okay. Okay. Legacy trader. I actually won't scam him. I'll actually delete it. I'm sincere. I actually will delete it. I will actually delete this character name and give it to him. If he gives me 5 arm braces, just Zed Shadow Oof. No, I actually am recording. I don't know if he's serious though. Do you know Peace? I don't think so. So blinds. I actually do know Mr. Cleaned and Blind. Blind is my fury. They're really cool. A lot of the legacy people are really cool. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. That'd be funny if he paid me 5 arm braces for my name. That'd be so strange. Like that's just proof that like the game is like wonky as fuck with like values. Um, I don't know how to pull out. That's a pretty good name. Nice. That was surprising that the shield was worth that much, but all right. So I'm trying to sell. I'm actually not trying to sell this for 50 E. I'm just seeing if people will message me, just to see like how much people are actually paying attention. Because like that, I mean, you probably can sell this sword for around like 70 to 100 ectos, which is pretty reasonable. Um, I would say probably like as you approach 120, it takes longer to sell. If I was going to be a real son of a bitch, I probably could sell it for 2A. So I'm going to try that just as like an experiment and like testing the market. It is on Legacy also. Um, but yeah, I'm curious to see how this interaction goes. I don't think he's sincere about paying me like arm braces for my name. Asked for 5. That's a lesson in bartering. If someone gives you an offer, you can always ask for more, and like the worst thing will happen is they say no, and in most cases, they'll still offer what they previously had offered. Yes, I would say so. Is yeah, if you have 50 arm braces, you're rich. You can buy like multiple sets of obsidian armor, chaos gloves, blindfolds, pretty much like probably like a crazy skin or two. Wonder how many people? Probably not that many. I wouldn't think too many. This is actually turning into an interesting conversation about like wealth in the game because it's literally like related to this. This dude just ran up to me and it's like, "Can I buy your name?" as a joke. I think he's kidding, but if he's not, that's hilarious. Like I would do that like if he actually wants to. For 5A, dude, I'll sell Zed Shadow Oof. It's a good name. When I grabbed it, I was like, "This isn't taken." I was like certain it was taken because you could look at I'm Zed Shadow Huff. This is perfect. This was the point. You can run around as a horse. Zed Shadow Oof. It's a good. It's like a light meme. Princess Tay Tay probably still selling that 2020. Let's see, where are they? I think they're still selling that 2020. Oh no. Oh yeah. So now we're getting into like philosophy as to what you should do in the game. This video is really taking a turn for. First it went hilarious. Now we're getting philosophical. I honestly don't think I should continue chess running because I have like 30A, and it's just like I don't really need money anymore. Um. Yeah. Yeah, this is like accurate. I have like around 30A, and like some items are converted from like they're like tormented weapons I could resell, shit like that. Some rare skins. I have like 15A on my main, like an actual arm braces, And then I just like converted like some chaos gloves, got some obsidian armor. You can't get the money back out of those, but it still is like theoretically net worth, we'll call it. It's like if you have like a few sets of every set of chaos gloves is 75 ectos. So if you have like 10 sets, that's 750 ectos that you could have had if you just not got some glowing gloves. But I'll just honestly, I think I'll just give him the name. Yeah, I would say most people don't have that much money in the game. I run into people all the time who think like a few ectos is a lot of money. Like this thing happens where when you become a power trader, um, whoops. I don't think too many people have over 2,000 arm braces. I think that's like even if you just look at like Commodon, right? Like let's look at some people selling shit. I went to buy OS. Oh, is this Kabong? he PM'd me about that shield, so he's probably looking for like specific things. So I don't know that I want to waste his time because he usually looks for like crazy rare shit. But he's a cool dude too. He gave me some feedback on the shield as well. All right, so buying some Z keys. Want to buy BDS, C coins, BDS. Want to sell OS. I mean, it seems like a lot of the. I think that's accurate. A lot of the players that I run into on average, like actually, let's look at some players. Let's like assess their like how much they roughly have. All right, so this dude, basic armor, nothing crazy. He could have some nice skins, but hard to say. This guy has obsidian armor, probably has some decent amount of money. Obsidian armor, probably a decent amount of money. Obsidian armor. What is this? Armor is that? I know this is like parts of obsidian and like chaos gloves, so they probably have some money. Oh, it's Swift. Yeah, I know Swift bitch is rich. They're in the Luxon legit. Obsidian, chaos gloves, things like this character. This is just like I think that's Vabian chest. I want to say Vabian legs. They don't have chaos gloves. Most people that have money have chaos gloves. Most people that don't have chaos gloves. Chaos gloves cost 750k. Generally speaking, people want glowing hands because it's cool. This player, they could have money. It looks like they're doing like Fashion Wars. It's hard to tell, but this dude just has basic armor. He's Big Bang. He's a new character. This guy probably has some money. Maybe they don't either too, right? Basic armor. It's a new character. You have to kind of like look at the average. You also have to consider a lot of these players might be power traders. This person probably has some money. They have Grandmaster Treasure Hunter. They very likely have Bank, assuming they chest ran profitable routes. Oh wow. I think that's accurate. I don't think too many. This dude is almost this guy. He just has his shirt off and he has like all fiery shit. That dude's a king. He's the king of the castle. Okay. So I would say on average, most people here seem to have obsidian with chaos gloves. I think these people are always here. These two are always here. I have like 8k active. Nice. So let's actually ask him how he got rich, because he obviously has a lot of money. So what better way to figure out how to get rich in the game? PvP. Oh, really? Nice. 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 That's cool. So he got rich from PvP. That's interesting. But I won't share. Good, you earned it. He doesn't have to share with people if he fucking made that shit. These are like new players. All right, so let's check out like a different outpost really quick. Let's go to Embark Beach. This is where people actually play the game for the most part. So comments down below like how much money you have in Guild Wars, roughly speaking. Like, and you can, and we'll count like Obsidian Armor and Chaos Gloves, like how much you have, even though you can't convert those out, like you can't get those Ectos out, like to count that also. I'm curious. Let's see. He's just in basic armor. I'm just trying to get a feel. This person has a cosmetic, so I can't tell what armor they're wearing. Let's see what else we have. Now, just because someone's in basic armor doesn't mean they don't have money, right? Like, this is just like, we're just like assuming that. What title do you have? So I'm looking for like crazy. All right, so if you have Gwam and you have like Obsidian with Chaos Gloves, I'm assuming you have some money. What do you got? Almost Gwam. Lightbringer 8 probably runs DOA. Like, you wouldn't have Lightbringer 8 as a Paragon, too. I don't know if the Paragons run in DOA, but this person probably has money. Like, I don't know, maybe a lot of people do have money. It could be mixed that, like, people are either extremely rare or just kind of, like, broke. This dude says basic armor, no title. And you don't have to have a title to have money, obviously. Do I think arm prices? Well, they are in demand, right? Yeah, so this is actually an interesting thing. Like, when arms were 60 ectos like a few weeks ago, they're approaching 70, and they're just going up. I think they will just keep rising. Yeah, so like I just said, it's tricky to predict what will happen. I would say arms are increasing in value right now. Yeah, arms are always hard to get. You need a group of 8 people to get them fast. You all have to know what you're doing, and you have to do, I think, 2 to 3. All right, I'm just kind of like exposing the fact that, you know, also keep in mind you're way richer than me, so take any input with a grain of salt, because I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Maybe they go down. Maybe they go down. With a grain of salt. You're also richer than me, so take it. I mean, you know, arms are going up right now, but that's you can't predict what the, you know, no one can predict the future, right? So I'm not gonna be like to for sure go dump all your actos and arms, because I don't know that they're gonna be continuing to increase or retain their value. But I do know it's harder. It's hard. It's the arm brace is one of the hardest things to get in the game. In terms of like commodities, actos are very easy to get. You can like solo farm the underworld. There's tons of builds, tons of videos on it. It is very annoying and it's a huge pain in the ass to solo DOA hard mode, no matter what you're running. It is very annoying. The best way to go about DOA is to have a full group of 8 people and to speed clear it. That's it. Otherwise, it takes forever. It takes a very long time, and it's a pain in the ass. There's no easy way to do it, and it's much easier to do underworld shit and then just get ectos as drops from enemies. That's way easier to do. Obviously, arms are worth way more, but yeah. So I don't think he's gonna buy my name. I think he's just like just kidding, which is fine. I don't care. You know, everything doesn't have to be serious all the time. But that was an interesting video, I think. A lot of shit happened. Definitely comment below what you think is going to happen with arm brace prices. Also, feel free to add some more insight if you're a legacy trader with more knowledge on OS than me, which there are a ton of people that have way more knowledge on this than me. Definitely add some, information or chime in, about like pricing, about how you determine value for pricing, about just generally what are good practices when selling items, because especially for people who are newer to chest running or to buying and selling OS items, this is like useful to them. I feel, because you can easily get ripped off. You can sell an item that's worth arm braces for like 100 ectos or like 20 ectos and think you're getting a good deal, but it turns out it's a raw deal and it sucks. On the other end of things, you can be selling something for way too much, way too high. It's worth maybe 2 arm braces for that sword is too high, but from what I've seen, they can go for 2 arm braces. But if arm braces are rising, then maybe I should just sell it for like 100 ectos or something like that. I tried selling it for 50 just to see if I could get a PM, but it's really hard to say, because honestly, most people in Commandant are just here to goof off or to troll or to be AFK. So the actual amount of players who are interested in buying an item, most of the players here are selling an item, so they're the mindset of a seller. They can buy items too, but unless it's like a really killer skin or an item like, Bone Cage Scythe, for example, that's like an item people want. BDSs, Q9 BDSs, those usually sell, but it can be hard to sell those too because you have to find a buyer who will pay what it's worth. Some things have more standard prices, some things have more foggy prices. I said that because I saw Froggy. So like Froggies, BDSs generally have like kind of standard prices plus or minus 100 ectos or so. But like some OS things with like unique mod combinations, the pricing is up in the air. It truly is, and you like the only way to determine its value is to post it on Legacy and like sit on it for a month or two with it being active on Legacy, see if people bid on it, if it goes to bid war and so on, and then sell it in Commandant as well, see what you can get for it. So that's my extremely long video about value in OS items. Some dude traded us. We checked out some of his items. I bought a staff off him for 20E. I probably overpaid on that, to be honest. It probably is only worth like 5 to 10, but I might have got him into chest running, so I want to give him a good deal. It's Q13 and it's 19%, but it's on a Tribune. I can run this just for fun on like my factions only Mesmer or something, just for the hell of it. But yeah. Thanks for checking out this video. Definitely like it if you like Guild Wars content. Subscribing helps too. Subscribing is like the thing that makes or breaks your YouTube channel, like 100%. If you watch my videos regularly too, like you're virtually subscribed anyways. So it definitely helps if you want to do that. But the more subscribers you have, the more likely YouTube is to recommend your channel, like in searches, and the more impact your keywords have, like your keywords. I don't know what I was about to call them, key terms. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for checking this out. I'll make a follow-up video if this dude buys this character's name for 5 arm braces. But aside from that, thanks for checking it out.